Welcome to the Vilcek Foundation. My name is Anne Schruth, and this is Brian Doan's exhibition, Home, Home, Home. Brian Doan is a Vietnamese-born photographer and mixed media artist. His work here juxtaposes imagery from his fragmented past to put together an image of identity, family, and home.
My name is Brian Doan. I'm a photographer and mixed media artist. I was trained as photographer, documentary photographer, and lately I switched into three-dimensional art, which included film, photography, drawing, installations. I was study computer science for years and wanted to become an engineer, and then I quit the job and I decided to do something more interesting, and I went back to school for photography. By the time I worked for a newspaper and working on a project on the Vietnamese diaspora, showing the Vietnamese people living around the world, especially in refugee camp, and also the Vietnamese in Southern California. And then when I finished my bachelor degree at UC Denver, after that I moved to Boston and got my graduate, my MFA in math arts in Boston. I think I always want to be an artist. I grew up with a cousin who was a painter and a poet, and pretty early I did feel myself enjoying more literature, art than science. And when I came here at beginning, like many immigrants, because the parents want you to study something that more concrete, more solid and stable income, and I don't know why I study computer. But then I realized that I should go something that made me feel confident and happy with my life, and art is always a call. So I think that I did take class photography, and I get more involved into photography and taking more classes and end up with a degree in photography. And then after the graduate school, I think that was the right choice. But I approached art kind of pretty late, you know, like not like right away. But I'm pretty happy with the decision. I believe that everyone should go for the design, either art, or you can be anyone, but make sure that you have to pick the career that you really love. Otherwise, you will be miserable for your whole life. Who influenced my work? So many, like asking what type of food that I like. And I love food. I love art. I grew up, like I say, with a cousin who exposed me to painting, and you name it. Painting has been a long history, and when I studied photography, so many photographers, but beginning like documentary like Salgado, and then let's say I like Vietnamese, I like Sidney Sherman, my teacher Nick Nixon, to name a few. But recently, to the work that I'm making right now, I'm looking for more artists with kind of multimedia piece, and like Mike Kelly, like Jeb Kun, my friends, Vietnamese American artist Tiffany Chung, so on. Japanese American artist Morimura, just to name a few. My previous work mostly focused on, black and white view camera, shooting portrait of Vietnamese people, mostly like almost like a study of the history through the life of the people who been distant or displaced from the original country and living in, outside of the homeland. So the series of portraits led me into how to learn a better way to capture the people and the story. And then after graduate, I changed the theme. I think documentary, it's more dealing with reality, the facts. It's great, but I feel like some limitation that not allow me to say what I want. And as an artist, I want to, like a painter, be able to paint the moon blue or the moon like red, whatever color you like. Photography always have to deal with reality. So by that, I changed into more contemporary theme. Now I can speak to whatever I want to say, and I think on a conceptual level, I like to say something more on the kind of like connotation than denotation, like what is the meaning of home instead of house, or what's the meaning of country instead of nation, or nation instead of country. So I like to go to the bigger theme that people can look at, and there's more than one way to answer. And I want my work more represent, more globalized. People, not only the story about the Vietnamese portrait, Vietnamese people, but my work more represent about what's going on with kind of human basic, what happened to refugee living outside his country. The name of my current work is Home, or Home. It kind of echo of the sound home. So also that the theme that I'm working on, it kind of making work right now. It kind of a journey to finding home through the art. And in this portfolio or this exhibition at the Vilcek Foundation, I presenting a combination of mixed media work, including photography and drawing, sculpture, installation, and short film. I don't know that if I can, I hope, but I don't know that I can bring to the audience or the viewer any unit about me. I think everyone have his or her own story, his story or her story. So if you speak from your heart, it's always something that to tell about yourself. So I came from Vietnam, as many Americans know. That's a country, the war-torn country that involved in 1960s, 70s, and after the conflict, after the end of Vietnam conflict, 1975, many Vietnamese came here or be a refugee around the world, and my story or my work is based on my own experience of being Vietnamese in America, and my work reflecting the life of me, my father, and my children, the three generations that combine into my work. The process, everything comes from, borrow from the history, and I kind of circulate the material that been used, or borrow the history, historical image, like a couple of my photograph, like I appropriate from the famous iconic images like from Eddie Adam, like sample 1. And then I go through that kind of national memory and go through like what I see, what I think, and what I want, and what I want to change in that historical image. And then kind of like massage, meditate with the idea for a while, and then I start to draw on my, first of all, I want to perform like appropriate that character that in that photo, and then I draw on top. It takes me a while to change from what I want to add on. Like I say, I shoot the photograph first, using myself like a model, the character, and then later on I want to continue the conversation with that image that I borrow. So I add on the images of some animal, for example. The other image, like sculpture, I just mow it out and changing. For example, like the pedestal, I change from the square to boat shape, because I think that, you know, in doing the artistic practice, it's always better, you know, you always feel like you need to modify, and the second and the version after always better, you know. So it's pretty hard to predict like the final. You kind of know the destination, but there's so many ways to go there, and sometimes you're lucky to get a short way, sometimes take you a while to go, but finally the work is kind of the final. And I'm not really happy. I'm a person, I'm an artist who not really satisfied with the work. I always see if I have more time, I have more time, but you know, we never have time. You just accept with a reality that it's done. But if you say that finished yet, I would say no, but it's done.
The Artists Forum. Get connected. Be heard. The Artists Forum is a place where artists of all disciplines can network, collaborate, and exchange information and ideas. You want to know when to catch us? Well, then log on to tvguide.com's local listings section. You can also see us live on the web via Channel 57's mnn.org. On the Artists Forum, you'll see interviews with New York City's emerging talents in theater, dance, and visual arts, as well as the written word. We'll jump the velvet rope to get interviews with the entertainment industry's top insiders, as well as some of its underground talents. Expose yourself to the Artists Forum, show us your work, invite us to your performance. Do you have questions about the business? Do you need help better focusing your career? Or maybe you just want to post information about an upcoming project? Well, log on to our website, theartistsforum.org. The Artists Forum, on the pulse of community activities and events. I'm Shalita Burchett, and I'll see you on the Artists Forum.
How would you describe the materials that get put into your work?
Material? You know, like I say, I base on photography with camera involved, film. I still shooting my work with large format 4x5 and 8x10 camera, and scan and digital print. That's a beautiful digital that now allow you to make bigger print, and you can print you know, whenever you want. But then I feel like photography is just limited in two-dimensional world, and I want to add on. So the work later on, I want to get three-dimensional and how sculptural, three-dimensional, but I still want to have, you know, we still mixing sound, lighting. So I utilize everything, like I obsessed with the founding object, founding art, like the car door in this exhibition. Like I have it for a while, and I think that I'm going to using that thing, but I don't know when and how and what, until just a moment like I say, okay, here you are. I'm going to paint and I'm going to, fabricate that car door into, it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like you, in your like unconscious, you just know that you need that material, and then in a moment, it's a right moment, and sometimes never finding the right material. Like I say, it kind of like using mixed media. I kind of always experimental project. You never know that what happened to the end, but I enjoy the process. Actually, enjoy the moment that I creating more than showing, because showing to me it's the final, and the final that means the end. So I always looking for the new way, looking for improve my process, and I always fascinated with the new material. This is the piece that I would say founding object. For a long time, I admired artists like Marcel Duchamp, Picasso, and many that they found the founding object. They fascinated with the already made and how you utilize the material, recycle, and add on the idea, add on the conversation to the thing that I already have. This is the Cadillac car door 1977. Considered Cadillac a luxury, car, and this kind of luxury piece that been forgotten year in the junkyard, I utilize and using the image by Eddie Adam, the hand holding a gun and shooting another person, and I always admire Bob Dylan. This is the slogan, or this is the one of the quotation from his song, The Master of War. You put a gun in my hand, and I shot the bullet hole. In original image, this is the man right here, and that's a way that when another man killing another man. And so instead of killing, I put a bullet hole right here on the same like eye level to see the impact of killing, to see why you can shoot something and you can see the impact, but why you be able to hold again and shoot another humankind? What is the force? What are the reason? And who behind? Who is the mastermind? Who put a gun in your hand? And if you be able to answer, are you following the order? You do it by yourself, and if you be able to answer yourself, maybe maybe you'll be able to think. Maybe because before you do anything, if you have time to think about it, or you give people the time, or allow yourself a time to investigate and understand people, maybe you shouldn't do this. In this particular piece, this is an installation of 8 sculpture, 8 booths put together, and this is the glass of the self-portrait I used in borrow the political image Ho Chi Minh, who's the leader of Vietnam during the Vietnam conflict. But in this particular sculpture, I cast why using myself. I using myself in every work that I'm making. In this particular work, if you see close up, I close my eye because like lately Buddhism become like a important part of my life, and in this sculpture you can see that I don't see, I don't talk, I don't hear. Like you turn it into within yourself. So what I mean through this is the original idea. This is an ideology, and ideology always beautiful at beginning. The concept are always beautiful, but the practice might be take another direction, because that will involve like revolution. The reason that revolution is to change something better, but the process of changing is always made sense. But when people succeed, and then because of many factors, you in a power, your policy may change because you're not the same person anymore. And this is the original idea, and clear, beautiful, and transform into seven men on the boat, and this is a graphite. So the idea being changed with time, with the power, and the idea no longer clear, no longer abstract. It becomes something due to human grit, and also people changing with time. And you can see seven men facing in different directions here. You can run the country. You can begin in the same idea, but then when you power, the idea start to divide it, start to dilute, start to get lost in the context. So this pretty much like not apply into Vietnam politics or history, but you can apply to any country. Every political candidate can say something, but after being elected, you can, mostly become a different person and forget the thing that you say or you promise to the people. Right now, upcoming event, I have some plan. I start to outline and start to make some new work. And I don't know, I'm not worried about where to show the new work. There's a couple possibility that showing in some museum and galleries. I hope that someday I will be able to show my work in my homeland with Vietnam, but my work due to political aspect of my work, I don't think that, or maybe will take a while, but I really like I say, the work is relating to the history of myself or Vietnam. I really want to bring to my work to the Vietnamese viewer to see and to understand. And I don't know, that may be a very ambitious, but I really want my work to show and help the process to improve, or get the people. I would say because the conflict, we so separate, we so distrust and each other for a long time. I think it is time for conciliation. It's time to bring back. It's time to forgive and forget of what we have done to each other. So I don't know, but I hope the new show or any event that will help the Vietnamese or any people who are the victim or endure the conflict to learn from the history, learn from art, and through art we can bring the better thing in our life. My artistic goal to be a better artist. We are living in kind of the new millennium that internet evolved, provide you so much information, like for example, like even the smartphone that you can use as a multimedia device, that you can do so much with that one thing in your pocket. So my goal is, because like I say, we live in 21st century, before photography, it's just like decoration on the wall. So I would like my work, the work I coming up, going to make, will become something that much more than just a decorative work in your house. It could be the message, it could be utilized around the world, and people can access in internet, YouTube, and like the interview today. I hope somebody will find something useful or interesting from the conversation, because I think that's that help us to bring us together. And I like I say, art is something really wonderful, came from humans. You know, we create art to celebrate our life, to tell the history of how we progress and how we achieve, and how we telling the people who we are and what we want. So I think art is always the good thing. You know, everyone need to eat, need to work, but art is like music. You always need something for your spirit, something for your, you know, beside, and we need to something for our, you know, intellectual conversation, or you know, arts always make people be a better people.
What advice would you give to emerging artists?
I would say believe in yourself. That's important, because somebody may like your work or dislike your work. It doesn't matter. You have to believe in yourself. I came from the family that no one is an artist. So art is something that very alienated to my family, and my family wouldn't think art is a career. So because of that you have to make sure that doesn't stop you to become who you want to be.